What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a look at EB-03. EB-03's been revealed. Now, it was actually revealed yesterday. I'm sorry, I was casting the Bologna regional for the One Piece TCG. Yesterday was an extremely busy day, but we're back today. We can talk about EB-03, and to be fair, I'm also casting today, but we can get this done during. It's going to be fine. And EB-03, I think, is going to be pretty popular. Look at the box. It is the One Piece Heroines edition. Looks like Boa Hancock, Nami, Uta, and Nico Robin. Oh, people are going to be very, very happy about this set. This one's gonna be popular. And it's weird that we didn't know this. We usually know things like this from distributor listings. It's nice to get a little bit of a surprise. We do, by the way, have a Japanese release date confirmed of the 25th of October. Remember, EB-04 is going to be included in two of our sets, kind of half each. But EB-03, that one is actually going to be a separate standalone set for us, released as its own thing. And it is scheduled for release on the 20th of February. So we are mashing the release dates together a bit more. This one we have to wait like 4 months still, which is honestly a little bit sad. People are going to want these more. But the description we were given on the distributor website was various characters who color Luffy's adventure throughout the entire One Piece series. Well, that's not exactly what we're getting here, ladies and gentlemen. This is full-on One Piece heroines. Now, it's also important to note that we seem to be getting real theming in the EB series now. EB-01 was a cool set, but it didn't really have a big theme like that. It was a memorial collection, but there was no real underlying theme. Whereas EB-02 was a 25th anniversary of the anime, and we got proper anime cards. We got the sketch anime cards like We Are from the opening scene, and then, you know, the cards were using anime artwork, like this Nami, for instance, which is like my favorite, well, one of my favorite artworks in the set, at least. It's beautiful. And I did pull it in my box, which makes me absolutely delighted. Well, here with EB-03, we're back to a real theme, and it's weird that it wasn't told to us on the distributor website, but it's lovely that we do have this theme. We've also been told there's only one leader in the entire set, and we know what it is. It's Nefertari Vivi. For what it's worth, we do also have some promos we can have a look at in a moment and some other stuff, so we're not going to just look at the leader, but this is the only leader. Although, having said that, the information we've got for EB-03 from distributors does not seem to really perfectly match what we've been shown so far, so this one, more than most, I am taking with a pinch of salt. But for now, we've got the leader Vivi, who is, well, at least until we're told otherwise, the only leader that's coming around in the set. And I know I got super excited about OP-04 Vivi, and I got burned when it turned out OP-04 Vivi was never actually very good. I remember this, but I don't care, because I'm very excited about this Vivi leader. What we've got here is a blue-red leader, incidentally the same color combination that we had before, and we've got 5,000 power for life, and we've got once per turn, if one of your characters of an original cost of 4 or more would be KO'd, you may instead trash a card from your hand. You get to save any character with an original cost of 4 or more, i.e. you can't have a lower cost character that you boost up to above 4 and then save with this skill. They have to have an original, a printed cost of 4 or more. And it is KO'd. It doesn't say whether it's KO'd by an effect or in battle or any of that, so as long as they are KO'd in any way, this will save them. Oh, that's a pretty ridiculous skill. We've then got activate main, rest this leader, give one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power for the turn, and then give one of your characters that doesn't have a when attacking ability, rush for the turn. So basically, you get rush, but you don't get it on a character with a when attacking ability, which does kind of make sense. We're trying to stop people doubling up here. You can rest this leader to give one of your characters rush, but not if they have an attacking skill. Which, honestly, yeah, I get this. This makes sense. One of the ones that immediately springs to mind here is Chopper, the one from OP-08. Because on your turn, on play, and when attacking, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and play an animal character with 4,000 power or less rested. Well, if you could give this Rush, then you could play this, play a character, and then give it Rush and attack with it and play another character. That's the kind of thing we're hoping to avoid. But I don't see this as some kind of like massive downside that ruins the leader. Firstly, the minus 2k on one of your opponent's characters is very nice. Secondly, you can give Rush to anything that doesn't have an on-play skill. There's like a million ridiculous characters out there that don't have an on-play skill. I mean, I could give a million examples now, but take the Punk Hazard Sanji. The Punk Hazard Sanji is one of those characters where it's low cost, but it gets a bump up on your turn. It's a free cost 3k, but on your turn it's a free cost 6k. Well, now it's a free cost 6k with Rush. Bearing in mind that since the beginning of the game, we've all been perfectly content to play the OP-01 Roanoa Zoro, which is a free cost 5k with Rush and doesn't have counter. Well, this is now a free cost 6k with Rush that does have a counter. As an example, I love this, frankly. And it's weird because it's very similar to the other Vivi. You've got the same color combination. The other Vivi couldn't attack. Now, this one technically can attack, but a lot of the time you actually instead want to be resting this leader to give one of your other characters Rush, so you're not necessarily going to be attacking. And, of course, you're giving Rush, so we've still got a blue-red Vivi leader that isn't attacking and is giving other characters Rush. That's kind of cool. Seriously, though, the fact that you can save your characters from being KO'd, you can minus power on your opponent, and you can give your characters Rush, you add all of that together, I love this. So that's the only card we've seen from the set. But the good news is we have been told about a thing called the Heroine Cup. And at the Heroine Cup, there are various things that are going to be available, but they include promos of Nami, Jewelry Bonnie, and Nico Robin, and they've actually all been done with Basai artwork. Basai, one of the most prominent and prolific illustrators in the One Piece card game. Wow, they've gone and done a trio of promos here that I think an awful lot of people are going to be moderately happy about. And by moderately happy, I mean incredibly happy. Now, these are all numbered promos, and they are all brand new and exclusive, so let's run through them nice and quickly. Nico Robin, free cost 4,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And once per turn, when one of your Straw Hat characters would leave the field due to an opponent's effect, you may instead rest one of your Don. So leave a Don open on your opponent's turn, they try getting rid of one of your characters, as long as they're Straw Hat, you get to save them. And it is one of those leave the field, so whether they're KO'd or trashed or returned to hand or returned to deck, it doesn't really matter. You get to save them. This is very good. Nami, we got 5 cost 6,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And on play, if your leader is Nami, then give your leader one rested Don, and then play up to one 2 cost or lower character from your hand. Okay. And look, good Nami got banned, but we still got that replacement Nami, which is a significantly worse version of it and probably isn't viable post-rotation because we don't actually have enough East Blue characters, but it's there. But then we've also got the blue-yellow Nami, which actually is in the top cut this weekend at Bologna Regional, so I am keeping a close eye on that one. But regardless, we've still got blue-yellow Nami. And this will fit very nicely in there. And then you get to play a 1 or 2 cost character for free. Yes. It's a 5 cost 6k, so you're still getting a 6k body on the board. You're giving up 1,000 power because your vanilla would be 5 cost 7k. But then you also get to give a rested Don to your leader Nami. So this is essentially a 4 cost 6k, i.e. a regular vanilla. Plus you get to play a 1 or 2 cost character from your hand. Sounds good to me, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds good to me. And then finishing off here, we have got ourselves a Jewelry Bonnie, a yellow 4 cost 4k with 2,000 counter, which is redonkulous. And we got Don X2 on your opponent's turn. This character gains blocker and plus 2,000 power. And there's a trigger that KOs one of your opponent's free cost or lower characters. This again seems to be incredibly strong. Don X2, then you're a 6k blocker on your opponent's turn, but then you're also a 6k body on your turn, which is nice. But you get to KO a free cost or lower character as a trigger, and you've got counter plus 2,000. All of which adds up to good. And do remember, we've got the Jewelry Bonnie leader in OP13. And, you know, the hook of the Jewelry Bonnie leader in OP13 is they like trigger. It's got the skill whereby once during your turn, when you play a character with trigger, you can give 2 rested Don to your leader or character. 1 leader or character, obviously. Oh, did you notice how this is a Don X2 skill? I.e., when you play this, you can just give it to Don using your Bonnie leader. Oh, look how that worked out. That seems pretty good to me. Big fan of this card. I think all of these are actually pretty nice. I think these are good cards. And we obviously know that the female characters, the heroines, are going to be pushed forward in EB-03. These are not cards from the set. These are numbered promos, 111 to 113, which are being given out at the Heroine Cup. But I think we can expect more of this kind of stuff as we go through. Also, for what it's worth, obviously, Nico Robin, being a green straw hat, is going to work very nicely with the OP13 green-red straw hat Luffy. Although the Nami, I'm sorry, the Nami, it's not working with an OP13 leader. It's OP11 Nami. That's where we're getting the most value here. Yes, that is maybe a little bit weird. One more thing you need to know about this upcoming Heroine Cup, and that is that there is something being sold there, and it is a playmat and promo set. You just rock up to the Heroine Cup, and it's there available to buy, which is lovely. Because I want this. Now, it's actually retailing for 4,730 yen, which is basically $32, but you've just got yourself a Vivi playmat and a Vivi promo. It's cool. No, this one is not a new or mechanically unique promo. It is the Vivi from OP13, so it's actually one we haven't had yet, but over in Japan they have. And it is your 1 cost 2,000 power, counter plus 1,000. On play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Find a cost 2 or higher Alabaster or Straw Hat card, add it to your hand, and put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any way that you like. It is a little bit weird that it's a generic searcher that specifically says you must get a cost 2 or higher, but it does work with both Alabaster and Straw Hat, so I am willing to forgive it. So there we go. We got the official reveal of EB-03. We got ourselves a strong theme. We've got ourselves what might be, and what we've been told is, the only leader in the set. We've got some really fun new promos at the Heroine Cup and some nice swag. But I've told you all about it now. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about the theming for EB-03. Tell me how excited you are for this Vivi leader and whether you think it's going to work. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join the Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Blaze.